For those of you that are just seeing this or going to be seeing this later, and just joined my live, welcome, welcome. My name is Cindi. I'm at Simply Cindi. I am a medium. I love astrology. I have a lot of tools in my basket. Um, Thank you for joining. If you guys could like, subscribe, and share. Let's move into August. Okay. So, okay. So August 2nd, we have Venus and Leo. Venus and Leo. And it's going to be squaring Uranus and Taurus, right? So Venus and Leo is squaring Uranus in Taurus right here. Okay. So there's going to be some disruption, but remember, it's rebellion, disruption, it's unique, it's different, it's going to change things, but it has to do with the comfort because Venus rules Taurus, right? And Uranus is in Taurus's house, and it is a square, which means it is like a push and pull kind of thing, right? So on August 2nd, when that happens, there's something about the comfort of you or the instability of your surroundings with Venus being in Leo about the self and about being honored that's going to be changing. There's going to be a disruption there. Okay. So that's August 2nd. And then August 4th, that's when Mercury retrograde begins. And I've heard, well, I don't watch many astrologers, but I've heard, like through TikTok, when I see it, it comes on my FYP, that people are a lot talking about this Mercury retrograde. And the reason that they're talking about it is because Mercury is going to be in Virgo in its home sign, right? So Mercury rules Virgo and it rules Gemini. Where's Gemini? Gemini and Virgo, right? And so it's going into Virgo on August 4th. It begins its retrograde and it's going to retrograde back into Leo. So whatever this is going on with this, for me, when I see it, what's going on here with this square is going to come up again. So it looks to me like it's not going to finish. It's going to come up again as Mercury goes back into Leo, because it's going to go back into Leo as it retrogrades. It means our thought processes. It means the way that we're seeing something. It means the way that we're communicating something. It means because it's Venus and Uranus and Taurus, it has to do with our comfort. It does have to do with relationships, but something's going to change. And you may not change it right away, and you may not see how you're going to be able to progress this until Mercury goes closer back into, and then goes eventually into Leo, right? And it's going to be there, so it's going to retrograde back into Leo, and then it turns direct on the 28th, right? Not just that, we have a new moon. So on that same day, we have a new moon, right? So you can see the sun and the moon. So the moon is in Leo, right? And it's going to be a new moon at 12 degrees. I know this is 1813 because I'm not looking at the exact time, but it's going to be at 12 degrees, right? So there's something new, some new way that Uranus is going to help, that's going to give you satisfaction because of Venus, and you're going to find a way to have it with Mercury, right? Not on that day, but I see in this new moon where you can see it happening. You just have to like work some things, but then Uranus is going to come here and change the way that you thought you had to work it or change it. Yeah, he's going to make it easier for you. It's not going to feel good to some of you because some of you don't like change. It's not going to feel good to some of you, but trust me, it's taking you where you want to go. Okay. And you don't have to move on it until Mercury comes in here and shows you the way. Does that make sense to you guys? On that same day, later on that day, Venus moves into Virgo. Okay. So Venus is going to move into Virgo. It's already talking to Mercury. There's something going on here. But you are going to see the way. This is about planning. Remember, Virgo is planning, organization, and learning to be balanced in the love, learning to be balanced in relationships. Don't give too much. Don't get into the cycle of I have to love them until they can love themselves, right? You're going to be clear. Okay. So we have those three things going on the 4th. So the 4th is going to be a big date. 4 days before that, 4 days after that. It's going to be very prominent. And I would say that it would be easygoing, except for that there's this square here. So this square with Uranus, with all of this going on, the way that you think you're going to do it, or maybe you don't know how you're going to do it, but if you think you know how you're going to do whatever this is, it's going to come and change it. That's Uranus. Okay. So my thinking is be true to yourself. My suggestion is to be true to yourself. And honestly, this is what I've been doing, and I say still do it. Look at your now. Look at your now. And you can look ahead a little bit, but don't stay in looking ahead. Like, where do I want to go? But I would be in your now. That's the and be open to the change, because the change is coming. Okay. That's on August 4th. Then on August 7th, this is when Mercury and Venus conjunct. And they're conjuncting, there's conjunction with them. They're speaking. They're having a really good conversation. They're both working together in Virgo. So I feel like whatever happens, you're going to get through it and see some answer and be okay and process this. So because it's Venus and Mercury. Remember, Mercury is the thought process. Mercury is like, okay, this is how we're going to do it, right? It is retrograde, so it's having you rethink, and I think you're having to rethink because of this Uranus. Okay, so the way that you think you're going to go, you're not going to go. It's going to shock you. Then you're going to start to see, oh, I can do this. But that's exactly what you should be doing. You should be replanning. You should be pivoting. You should be rethinking, because that's the Venus in Mercury, right? Now, because I'm going to show you, when I'm looking at charts, this is how I'm looking at it. Because it's in conjunct, right? Because it's like, it's not completely opposite, but it's kind of opposite over here, right? So this has to do, remember, we were working over here with Saturn and Neptune and Pisces. What do I believe, right? This is in connection to what you're going to see. How do you believe it? How are you going to accept it? What are you willing to work with doing it, right? How are you willing to plan it, right? Hi, Aries. Thanks for joining. So I would say on the 7th, and again, I'll give you the exact days that these things are happening, but energy flows. It doesn't stop and starts. Some of you may be a little sooner. Some of you may be a little later than the August 7th or August 4th or August 2nd, right? I'm just kind of giving you a roundabout. I don't see energy as stop and start. I just see it as flowing. And depending on everybody has their own lives, their own choices, that would depend on the frequency that you're at. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm going to put this on mute real quick and cough. Sorry about that. But know that they're working together, right? So just when we thought we had things figured out through here, through this understanding, through this live, you're like, oh yeah, I'm getting some answers. Guess what? There's Uranus. He's like, yeah, I'm going to shake it up a little bit. But you're going to get what you want. You're moving towards that. Okay. So that's a little sticky. Do you see what I mean by like this next month is going to be sticky? It's going to be like crazy. Things are happening every day. Your choices are being made. You're seeing new light in new directions. You're still having to like dream about what you want. But what do I want? How do I believe? What do I believe? What am I going to do? What am I capable of? What am I worthy of, Kathy and Cindy? What am I worthy of? Like we still have that going on in the background. Some of you still have, am I even enough? Am I just found out where I was from, but I've got all this other stuff. That's what I mean by it's like, it's revealing. You're going to get some answers. So it's very revealing this month. But in that, it's like it's a lot of movement. It's really interesting how this is a lot of movement in retrogrades, right? So then we have, um, let's see. So then we're going to go to 14. Can you guys let me know you're still here? Tell me hello. Tell me you understand. Give me something. I know y'all are really sweet and you're like really quiet when I'm working or talking, but I got to know what's going on too. Exactly, Kathy. We're like, but can we do it? Do we even matter? Do we need to learn more? Like, that's what Kathy and I have to deal with. I'm sure Lorna has to do with something else. I can't remember your chart, Lorna. And then there's who's the other one? There's Eagle, who I just can't remember her chart. Who knows? Like we're all working on stuff in the background, and then stuff that's happening in front of us too, right? So then we move to the 14th. This is where Mars conjuncts Jupiter in Gemini, right? So we're in Gemini. So Mars already went over here and wreaked havoc, right? Now he's going to come over here in Gemini. And listen, Mars loves Gemini. And the reason I say this is because Aries is ruled by Mars, and I love my Aries. Like, we kind of get each other when I step into my sun, Gemini, right? So, but he's fast moving, right? He doesn't think about much. He just does what he thinks he should, right? And he's going to be conjuncting Jupiter. So Jupiter is the planet of luck, but it's also the planet of expansion, right? And so, what is he trying to expand in Gemini, right? So let's look at the sign instead of the house. Gemini likes to keep things to themselves. They're chatty, but they're not. Here's the thing with Gemini: they're chatty, but they're not telling you what they really want to tell you because a lot of that they keep in the background, right? Take it from a Gemini. We kind of do this, look over here so we can really do what we want over here, okay? Now, I haven't been in my Gemini in a long time, so I haven't done that in a long time, but Gemini tends to do that, right? And so Gemini is this big energy, but Gemini in the last couple of years has not been a big energy, right? And so the way that I'm seeing this, the way that Jupiter is talking to me, is like you have come to a deeper understanding of yourself, of the world, of the people around you, of relationships, and you have been too scared to move on some things because when you took the chance on something, as a Gemini, we'd be like, everything that I said yes to or took a chance to, it failed, which is not true, but that's just being dramatic, right? So Jupiter's in there saying, you have, through your perception, because you failed a couple of times, have gotten gun shy. And as Mars and I work together, we are trying to bring you to your sweet, vibrant, vivacious, big Gemini, happy energy. The world really needs you right now, Gemini. And you are probably the only one that can work well with Aquarius and understand them. I won't say work well with Aquarius because Aquarius sometimes gets annoyed with Geminis, but you're the only one that can understand the energy of this deep. I'm not saying Scorpio can't because it's Pluto, but Gemini can work with, understand it, and bring a concept from it and have it be fun and vivacious and vibrant. Does that make sense? Unless, yeah, Aries is unloading the clip. Exactly. So I feel when these two and they're opposing the moon here, right? So what do we do when we're looking to one? This is the teacher part of me. What do we do when we're looking at one sign and we want help with what to do with it? We look at the other side, right? And so Sagittarius, whom I love, you guys know my moon Sagittarius. I think Kathy, there's a whole bunch of Kathys that are Sagittarius, right? So Jupiter and Mars are asking us to be more Sagittarius in the Gemini house. It wants adventure. It needs you to be vibrant. It needs you not to care what people say. You're going to say it anyway. It needs you to, it doesn't matter what people think. I don't really care what people think. That's Sagittarius. I don't care what people think. If I love you, I'll think about it, but I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's what Jupiter, he's asking you to be the old Gemini that you used to be for me, right? For other Geminis, it may be the same thing. But in this area of life, he's asking you to be vivacious. He's asking you to be courageous. He's asking you not to overthink it. He's asking you to do it. He's asking you to be adventurous, right? And he is going to bring that luck to you. He's going to bring that expansion to you. And Mars is going to give you the energy to do it, right? You're sending a Sag. Yeah, I know we have a lot of Saggies here, which I love. I love Saggies. Um, but sometimes we can only be in the same room for a little bit. Because when Saggies get an opinion about something, that's it, right? Um, and when Aquarius get opinion about something, that's it. And when Geminis get opinion about something, that's it. Well, guess what? I'm all three. So guess what? So anyway, there's going to be some expansion here going on here. There's going to be where they're talking to try to get you to your to lighten up. They want you to lighten up. They want you to do things the way that you used to do things in that area of your life. Be it's not courageous. It's like how I the only word that's coming to me is like be a little bit irresponsible. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to laugh at yourself. It's okay to laugh at other people. It's okay. Like it's not that serious. Like Jupiter it can be serious because Jupiter is the expansion of understanding the deeper part of ourselves. But what we've forgotten and have not connected to is that we think the deeper part of ourselves means the more serious part. And it's not. There's laughter in there. There is funny in there. Like if you knew me, like if you see me every day, there's a lot of people that when I make them laugh, they're like, you're actually funny. I am. And I'm a sad, so I laugh all the time, right? So, but some people just see me as this serious, whatever. That's what Jupiter is asking you to do at this time. There's a part of you that you need to come out and let be adventurous and let be like a child and have the excitement of learning something new as a child. Does all that make sense? So that's on the 14th. Then on the 15th, this is where it can get a little bit sticky, okay? Because one day they're telling us, remember to laugh, remember to be okay, right? And then on the, hold on a second, 15th, the very next day, we're going to feel a little bit different. We're going to feel a little bit different, okay? And we're going to feel a little bit different because now it's talking, these two are talking to Saturn, right? And it's a square. So it's almost like Saturn is like, look, I'm working over here to try to get them to unmask, to try to get them to believe in themselves, to try to get them to understand a different way. And y'all are over here doing playtime. So I need y'all to work with me And they're like, but you've had them with you serious the whole time. Can you lighten up? And that's kind of the discussion that's going on. So there is something that is causing you, and it could be because you don't believe in what you did before. Because it could be that you believe a different way now. Because it could be that your eyes have been open. But even in that, because that's Saturn that's been teaching us over here, even in that, Mars is like, so Jupiter first is like, even if they change their belief, they can still have some fun in what they believe in. They can still be childlike and adventurous and willing to take the action, willing to make the movement, and willing to take the chance and the risk, right? As Mars is saying, yeah, and I am here to help give them that energy, give them that courageousness, give them that validity, that push. Does that make sense? So you're going to kind of be going back and forth with this, right? That's why I'm saying it's a little sticky. It's like revealing. You're going to be so parts of you that you didn't realize, they've always been there. You just haven't focused on them. It's like me. This I'm the perfect example, okay? Because this is what my heart's showing me, right? I can still do the work of being a medium, of being in astrology, being on YouTube, and still have fun, which is what I've been working on for the past 5 years. Is it has to be fun and exciting and exhilarating for me. That's my authentic self. I have to be the Gemini. I have to, if I don't like it, I cannot do Virgo too much. I can do some Virgo. It's good to be organized. It's good to have a plan, but I don't have to stick to it because my Gemini side needs to come out and my Sagittarius adventure side needs to come out. And that's what Mars and Jupiter are saying to Saturn. Like, yes, we know they have to plan. Yes, we know. Like, that's what I've learned to do of what's going to be going on with this Jupiter and Mars squaring Saturn. It's like I still have a lot of fun on here. I didn't before. Remember, it was all work, work, work because I was still coming out of my research, my career, right? So I still had these habits, right? Very Virgo, just habits of like over planning, overdoing, making sure everything was absolutely perfect. The perfectionism, right? And I've learned that if I'm not having fun, they're not going to have fun. And I don't want to be where I'm not having fun. I want to have fun. I want to be the Gemini again. I want to step in the energy of Aries that will just tell you whatever. They don't care. Aries are like, I don't care. And I love that. I love that about myself, and I love that about Aries. That's why I mean Aries, Sagittarius. I love that about myself, and I love that about Sagittarius is that they don't have any fear. They will just say it. But do you see that Jupiter? The reason I know this is because Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and you guys know Sagittarius can laugh like they're funny. So you tell me, the guru here, the evolved one here, can laugh. That's what they're saying. And that's what they're going to be working with Saturn. So there is something here that you have to take more lightly as well as serious in planning, right? You have to connect with yourself. Okay, exactly. Kathy says, I'll clean as I go, but let's go, Virgo Sagittarius, right? I love all the parts of me, right? And I'm discovering all the parts of me. And you know what's making me do that? The Pluto 12th house. Who am I? What is going on? What is my connection, right? Because I remember I said Pluto's going to move into my first house in about 8 to 10 years. And that's where my identity, my true identity comes, right? But right now I'm investigating all that. So, um, so that's the 15th. So I would say that week you're just going to be I want you guys to have more fun. And to me, for me, that's my son. That's my third house. So for me, it's the writing, it's the neighborhood, it's where I'm at. It's like but for others it could be first house, second house. Where's Gemini? First house, second house, third house, where is it for you, right? And wherever that is, it's asking you what you believe. What do you believe now? And let's work with that. And let's expand that. And let's make you happier. Right? That makes sense? We've got so much crap going on in the world. You can still find happiness within you. But it's your perception. So what do you believe? Right? So that's 15th. Then the 18th comes around. I hope you guys are liking this way. This is a very different way of doing like the monthly, but I hope you guys are liking this way. I don't know what I'm going to channel. I don't know what I'm going to say. I just know I take some notes and then whatever kind of comes out, comes out. Okay. Like I do it the Virgo way. I bullet point. So then the 18th comes. Remember, we still have it's retrograde going on where it's in Leo, but then it conjuncts. Look how it conjuncts here. So they are real. So something that you were dealing with over here, remember here, is going to come to light. It's really going to be poignant on the 18th. Like it's going to finish up. It's going to there's going to be an action taken. There's going to be a way if on the 18th, 17th, 16th, maybe it's that you're finally being who you really want to be and seeing the better sides of situations and truly honoring what you believe, that you finally see the way through this, Leo, right? Feel everything is up in the air. Yes. So Kathy says feeling health and financial, job issues, biopsy on 31st, feel everything is up in the air. So I know most people, all of us would probably like, I can't handle it. I don't have answers to anything and I feel awful, right? And you're a Gemini. But the great thing is, if you look at it from an energetic perspective, it's showing you by everything you just said, you are changing into a different vibration, into a different phase. You are clearer about what you want and how you want to do this, right? You and I still have to work together. You won't have to face these things alone. You won't have to face these things in the dark. But you may have, if you've listened to me enough, the perception that we manifest, right? And you're in a space right now that you can change that easy. And that may be what Jupiter here. With Jupiter here and Mars, I feel like for you, I feel like there's some good deep understanding and movement. So you're going to get answers. You're going to get answers. Great to see you, Cindi. So glad you got yourself settled down. Well done for pulling through. Thank you, Rebecca. I don't know that I'm done yet, but thank you so much. I appreciate it, Rebecca. I hope your paper went well. I hope everything went well. But Kathy, you and I are supposed to see each other soon. Yeah, you got some good changes coming. You got some really good changes coming, actually. So, this is 12, 11, 10. Yeah. Not yet. So, remind me, Kathy, when we work together, we need to look at your Pluto and we need to look at this area right here. Okay. So, we need to look at Pisces and we need to look at your Pluto, but I think I'll remember that. But you do got to work on this. You got to work on this. Okay. 1, 2. So for you, actually, I'm going to do this real quick for you because I just see this. as a Gemini ascending. So are you a Gemini sun or ascending, Kathy? I thought you were Sag ascending. The other Kathy is a Sag ascending. But you are, do you have Sag in you? Or are you just Gemini? No, I know you have Sag in you. Are you a Gemini sun or ascending? Because if you're Gemini ascending, this right here tells me that you are about to get called in this time frame about the job. 3 or way to, yeah, 4. If you're ascending, there is something that you're doing in this situation that you've always done it that way, and so it makes you feel comfortable, but that's the South Node. You're trying to learn a different way. So I'll just tell you that. I'm going to move on. So let's see. On the 19th, so on the 18th, Mercury in Leo is squaring Uranus and Taurus, right? And then on the 19th, we have Jupiter So on the 19th, we have Jupiter squaring Saturn. So again, there's that conversation. Again, it's like, let's be really clear. There's Uranus. It was squaring Mercury and Leo, which gave us that information. And then this. But Mercury in Leo is going to bring some information, but it's going to change it. It's like freeing, rebellious, right? And then what I'd said about this square with Saturn. That makes sense. But on that same day, we have another full moon. So full moon in Aquarius on the 19th. I don't have it right here because I don't have the exact time, right? But it's going to we're going to have a full moon at 27 degrees Aquarius. And so the sun is going to be 27 degrees of Leo. That's the full moon. Okay. So the same day that we have this square going on, where Jupiter and Mars are saying, lighten up, be adventurous, the full moon is asking you, what am I not seeing correctly? And what do I need to let go of? But because it's conjunct Mercury, this full moon will be conjunct Mercury. And because it is in Aquarius, you are going to need to do it in a very different way. Whatever this is. Okay? And then on the 22nd, we're going to move into Virgo season. So the 22nd, we move into Virgo season. 1, 2. So the sun moves into Virgo. Those plans that we had made over here, that planning that we had done with this Mercury being retrograde, right? The planning that we started seeing, the action that we started taking, we're going to see some light there. We're going to see some things revealed. We're going to see some things come to fruition. We're going to see some things. And the reason I say that is because that's exactly what we were thinking and planning and doing while Mercury and Venus were over here, remember? So you're going to see something come to light. You're going to see something in a way that you hadn't seen it, or physically, because it's Virgo, if you had planned for it and if you had taken steps in it, then you are going to see the manifestation of it. Does that make sense? And then on the 28th, 7, 8. Then on the 28th, Mercury goes direct. So whatever Mercury or this situation had been going on, you're going to see some stuff going here on the 22nd. I would say from the 22nd to the 28th is where you see these things moving forward, manifesting. And then as Mercury goes direct, whatever this is going to start clearing up. It's going to start processing. It's going to start where you're understanding, or they're understanding you, or you're moving in that direction. Does that make sense? And we also have Venus at the 29 degree here, who is about to ingress into or move into her lovely sign that she loves, right? Her sign. So she's going to move into Libra, but in Virgo, she's got gifts to give you from all of this mulling, from all of this bravery, from all of this things, from all this adventure that you were doing, from all of this trusting in yourself and believing what you want and doing your thing. I feel like this is where Venus really has all of that come together. Does that make sense? And whatever was holding you back here with Mercury, whatever you couldn't understand, whatever wasn't, or maybe you understood and then you couldn't do it yet, that's all going to relieve itself as we move from the 28th onward. Okay, so like some people are going to get it on the 25th, some are going to get it on the 30th, of August, some are going to go into September, right? Like it just kind of flows, right? And then on the 29th, oh, oops, that's one day too late. And then on the 29th, Venus enters its beautiful sign that it loves, its home sign, in Libra. Okay, so it's going to be entering Libra. And so wherever Libra falls, this is something that you worked on, that you've done in the past, that you understand already, that she's going to, because the 0 degrees is pretty prominent. It's like the 29 degree and the 1 degree. It's pretty prominent. So I can see some things coming through for some people. It is opposing. So on the 28th, when it starts opposing Neptune, it's like your dreams are manifesting. If you have been true to your belief system, if you have worked through your deep understanding and adventurousness and happiness and had been planning, doing all that work, right? I feel like, am I really clear about am I better about understanding that I am worth getting these dreams that I see? For some of us. For others of you, it's going to be, this thing actually came through. I can't believe it, right? Because it's your dreams lining up, even though it's an opposition. I feel like if your dreams are lining up with your true self, then Venus will gift you with something. Yeah. Something great is coming for Sagittarius, and I'll tell you guys in another live or video. So as Venus in Libra will be opposing, let's say on the 29th, Libra. So it won't completely oppose. It's going to be trining. So I wrote that wrong. Sorry. Oh, no, I did write. I'm sorry. I'm looking at two different things. I did write. So Venus, because this is opposing your dream, right? This is like, am I connected? Am I really truly believing? This has to do, because it's trining, which is a good thing. Like these are working together. Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius. So maybe you healed from this part. Maybe you've come to a better understanding of something to do with partnerships, something to do with relationships, something to do with having beautiful things around you, or thinking that you are, or accepting that you deserve and you're equipped to have these things and these people and these situations around you. This is a good aspect here, right? But it has to do with Aquarius, right? Which is in a different space. Uh, Not just me, but the group, right? That makes sense? So, um, maybe it's that you're learning to open yourself up more where you had been shut down, because I feel like a lot of us have been had been shut down, right? Of this is going to cause you to maybe, I'm seeing, explore parts of you that hadn't been explored before, and coming to understanding of those things, because that's Pluto, right? And this has to do with you, the beauty, the way that you move in life, the understandings of what you can have and what you are worthy of and what you, but it's not just you. It has to do with, how do I do this with other people too? So am I this person that can have all of those? That makes sense to you guys? Okay. So that's basically going to round up August. I am going to eat some dinner and eat some dinner with my grandbaby. I hope that helps everyone. I will cut this down into videos and be releasing them this week. Again, I am studying and trying to catch up. So I hope all of this helps. I love that you guys stayed with me.